There's a saying in life I really love, boys. It goes, you end how you start. And we started this ESPN deal in the Apex Center with no fans, no crowds, okay? It was just friends and family there. And we're ending the ESPN deal in the Apex Center with no fans, no crowd. Silence, just complete silence. We're going to let this deal die quietly and in the dark. But this is actually a pretty good card to end off the year, and it better be, because we have zero entertainment for the next 6 weeks. The UFC is going on a little bit of a hiatus after this card until we go see Patty versus Justin for the interim belt. This card, though, I'm going to be honest with you, boys. This is a sneaky banger. This card is a sneaky banger. I would give this card a solid 6 if it was just a regular card. But it's an Apex card. You got to give it some leeway. There's some good fights on here, some star power. Manuel Kape, Starboy. I would give this an 8 as an Apex card, boys. I'm going to give you guys my full picks and predictions, my analysis for all of these fights. We have like 13 fights on this card. I'm going to break them all down for you, starting with the main event, Brandon Royval versus Starboy Manuel Kape. Now look, who knows if this fight is even going to actually happen? This fight has been canceled 3 separate times. The most recent time that they tried to have this fight, Manuel Kape pulled out. Joshua Van stepped in on short notice and pieced Brandon Royval up. Now, it was a close fight, the Brandon Royval and Joshua Van thing, until Brandon Royval got dropped by Joshua Van, and Joshua Van took what was supposed to be Manuel Kape's, which is a #1 contendership, against Alexandre Pantoja. Now look, if Kape was in there versus Pantoja, and Pantoja dislocated his elbow against Kape, I would have been like, look, that's part of the course. That's just kind of how Kape's career has gone, okay? He's eye-poking, he's low-blowing, he's not making weight. He's doing what he wants to do out there. He's slaying F-words and stuff, you know what I mean? That made me a fan of him when he was calling out Kape France. That made Erok a fan. Now look, we need to keep in mind that Manuel Kape should honestly have a fire in his stomach. Look, you pulled out of a fight against Brandon Royval, some no-name Joshua Van who is only hot in 2025, comes in your place, steals the show, gets a fight with Pantoja, and takes the belt. That was supposed to be you, Kape. Kape, that was supposed to be you, but you just decided to not lock in. Do you see what happens when we don't lock in? Now look, Kape at -250 is disrespectful. It's disrespectful to Brandon Royval. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, the Tapology predictions, I like this. This fight, honestly, is a little bit 50-50. Maybe 55-45, but it's extremely close. The line should not be like this at all. Kape, who barely shows up for fights, should not be a moderate favorite. In reality, this should be an even money fight, but I think Vegas is trying to trick people. But we're still going with Kape. I'm still going with Kape here. Brandon Royval, you know, he did bring the fire to Pantoja when they fought. I felt like that was a fantastic fight. Split decision against Moreno, not really that well. But he goes out there and beats up Tatsuro Taira. So either way, boys, the winner of this fight should fight Joshua Van. They should. I'm going to be honest with you. It should not be Tatsuro Taira, who had a iffy decision against, well, iffy stoppage against Brandon Moreno. The winner of this fight needs to fight Joshua Van. You want to know why? If Brandon Royval wins, he has the win over Tatsuro Taira, right? And he would want to get that get back against Joshua Van. Joshua Van stepped in on short notice. Brandon Royval didn't have a full training camp to train against Joshua Van. That's the storyline there. The storyline with Manuel Kape is Kape pulled out of the Brandon Royval fight. Joshua Van steps in and takes his shine. If I'm Kape, I'm mega locked in. I already saw he had the sunglasses on during the media day. I don't think that boy's making weight. I'm going to be honest with you. Did you see the gyno? Did you guys see the gyno on Manuel Kape? He looked like prime Israel Adesanya on both. All right? On both of them. Not just one. Like, is he on both of them? They should have blurred out Manuel Kape's chest. It was honestly not nice to look at. But we're going to be going Manuel Kape. I'm hoping we see some Rolling Thunders. I'm hoping we see some Three Stooges level eye pokes, okay? I don't know if Manuel Kape is going to go miss weight, low blow, eye poke, or miss weight, eye poke, low blow, fish hook. You know, we haven't seen a fish hook in a little bit. That might be part of the course. All right, boys. We're going to be going Manuel Kape here, but the winner of this fight needs to fight Joshua Van. I don't want to see Tatsuro Taira getting the title shot in Japan. You guys want to have a title shot in Japan? Give it to Kape. Kape has been running the Japanese circuits for how long? He was running the Japanese circuits before he even made it into the UFC. He's a big name in Japan. A lot of buying power. Kape, lock in, bro. If you can't win this fight, I don't even know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But Kape versus Van sounds like a whole load of fun. A whole load of fireworks. All right, boys. So, Kape, please, man, lock in. Co-main event for this card, boys. The final card of 2025. We have Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Vallejos. Now, look, listen. Excuse me, burping, alright? Erok had a big homemade dinner before I decided to make this video. Giga is obviously from Georgia, but he has 2 decision losses on his record, and one of them's against my boy Arnold Allen, which I like, but one of them's against David Onama, who just got slept by Steve Garcia in November. So that loss to David Onama is not really looking that well for him. But the loss to Arnold Allen, is a loss to Arnold Allen. That's my dog. Arnold Allen is my dog. Now, obviously, they're trying to set Kevin Vallejos up for success in the UFC, because Kevin Vallejos has been on an absolute god-tier run ever since he's made it into the UFC. He lost to Gene Silva on the Contender Series, didn't get a contract, worked his way back with 2 wins, got a Contender Series contract, knocks the dude out in the first round, and it's just been on a run. So they gave him Giga Chikadze, you know what I mean? And I honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys, Kevin Vallejos makes easy work out of Giga, okay? As long as Kevin doesn't get fraud checked like Peyton Talbot did when Peyton fought Rowney Barcelos earlier this year, as long as we can sprawl Kevin, this is going to be an easy victory. Kevin at minus 250, I like that. I would take Kevin Vallejos at minus 250. We're obviously going to have to parlay that with something, maybe Manuel Kape, but I'm going to wait for that line to go down a little bit, because minus 250 for Kape against Royval is a little nuts. You know how rangy Royval is? You know how much cardio Royval has? Let's be real here. Moving on, boys. This is a good one. I was looking at this, and I'm very, very interested in this fight. We have Cesar Almeida versus Cesare Olizechuk. Now, if you're looking at his last name and you're like, wait a minute, that seems a little bit familiar, it's because it is. I believe that he has a brother or cousin, whatever the other Olizechuk is in relation to this guy, they're related. All right, so just keep that in mind. We have some fighting in the blood going on. This dude, CJ, I'm going to call him CJ because I don't, that kind of looks like how it's pronounced. CJ Olizechuk was on an absolute fucking tear. He was on a tear. And boys, actually, I thought that this was the guy. There's a guy on this card who fought Paul Hughes. He fought a gang of competition. Honestly, I thought that was him off the dome, but we're going to get to that guy in a second. This dude has went on an absolute run in a whole bunch of different organizations. Got his Contenders Series contract in 36 seconds. Now, Cesar Almeida, that dude's kind of a dog. But he lost to Roman Kopylov in decision. He took Roman Kopylov to decision, and Roman Kopylov's name value, I'm going to be honest with you guys, is going like this. It's going like this. He lost to Paulo Costa. It dropped crazy. Then he lost to Gregory RoboCop, and then it's just like, phew, all the way down. Now, a loss against RoboCop is a lot. RoboCop is a fucking monster, okay? That dude is made in a laboratory. But the loss to Paulo, really, Roman Kopylov. So, I'm not really looking at these wins like they win against Ihor. Ihor's reputation, I don't even need to speak on. We could just getting choked out by Michel Pereira in 54 seconds last year. That's kind of all I need to say here. And he has a win over Abdul Razak whatever. this dude's career is kind of in the gutter too. So I feel like they're just throwing my boy CJ Olizechuk a little bone. They're like, look, man, get this dude out of here. Get this dude out of here. Minus 150. That's very generous. That's very generous for the beating I think that he's going to put on Caesar. I honestly would go first round KO TKO. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to go first round KO TKO here. I feel like he's going to go out there. He's going to get excited. And he's going to do exactly what he did in the Contender Series. He's going to go out there and act like an assassin. Alright? So we're going to go Olizechuk. First round KO TKO. Now, boys, this right here. This is the fight I was talking about. Morgan Charrier, however you pronounce his last name, versus my dog, the Dalmatian Savage, Miquel Costa. Miquel Costa has been on an absolute run in the UFC. Absolute tear. He did lose to Steve Garcia, but that was 2 years ago, boys. This year, he's been on an absolute tear. Sajin Nurebeski, 39-11, an absolute journeyman. He took out Andre Fili, submitted him, okay? He took out Christian Rodriguez, and then his most recent fight was Julian Erosa, which was a banger, a masterpiece. Now, Morgan Charrier. This is the dude who I was like, look, I'm looking through these guys' topologies, and this dude has fought some actual fucking competition. Let's be real here. Nathaniel Wood, Nate Landwehr, Shepe. He fought Shepe. Diego Silva. Okay. Dude, he went to decision with Paul Hughes. He fought Jordan Vunishek, whatever, bro, to decision. Now, I know he's kind of chinny. He's kind of chinny now. But, well, not even chinny. It's just, you know, he lost 2 fights in the UFC and got cut. His only 2 fights in the UFC and got cut. But I'm liking this dude, but I don't want to bet against Miquel Costa. Now, this is an actual 50-50 fight. You could deadass put your money on either dude and have a clear argument on why you think they can get this done. But I'm going to be honest, I'm leaning Miquel Costa. I am leaning heavy Miquel Costa. I am a Miquel Costa fan. I think that bro gets the job done. I think that him having alopecia really puts a fire on him, and he's going to go out there and make a statement against Morgan Charrier, the last pirate. The Dalmatian is such a hard nickname. It's such a hard nickname. And Miquel, honestly, from his last loss to Steve Garcia, right? He has just shown levels and levels and levels and leaps and bounds in improvement. Like, if you compare his Steve Garcia fight to his Julian Erosa fight or his Shali Leon whatever fight to the Julian Erosa, like, it's levels, all right? I am very excited for this. I kind of wish this was the co-main event. I'm going to be honest with you. But, all right, 75% of people are going Miquel Costa. 83% of that 75 is going decision. So you guys believe with me. I think the last pirate is going to go down. I don't care you took Paul Hughes to decision. This is more than likely going to go to a decision, boys. Moving on. Kennedy Nezekchuku versus Marcus Buchechnia. Now, Marcus Buchechnia has been a name I've been hearing about for a very, very, very long time, and honestly, no idea why. No idea why. This dude has, like, he's fought no comp. He's fighting, like, fucking twice a year. He's trying to figure it out. He lost to Martin Boudet. Not really that interested. Kennedy Nezuku, on the other hand, lost to Walter Walker. You kind of can't count him out for that one. But his career is kind of looking like a Christmas tree, too. As soon as he fights some real comp, he's going down. Justin Jacoby over St. Preux. He beat up Chris Barnett. All right. This is just like a bum fight. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a bum fight. This is like a literal heavyweight, gas out, bar, bum fight. I feel like Marcus Buchechnia is gonna pull guard and just scoot towards Kennedy. I think that's how this is going to go. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But yeah, honestly, you could pick any person in here. You can make an argument for either one. This is like, who cares who wins this fight? Both you're going to get cut next anyway. Let's be fucking honest. Now this is a fight that interests me. This is lit. Bobby Green. I'm not calling him king. Bobby Green faces off against Lance Gibson Jr. Now, this fight was put together last second for whatever reason, I think somebody pulled out. Somebody needed a new opponent. Bobby Green stepped in, and all right, Bobby Green, like we know, decimating loss to Marcio Ruffy, decimating loss to Paddy Pimblett. Yes, he beat up Jim Miller. They had two old guys fight for whatever reason. And then a very vicious, weird stoppage against Jalen Turner. Bobby Green, how is he still here? How does he still have a contract? I'm very confused about. But hey, bro, get your bread. You know what I mean? You got to get your bread somehow. 32-17 honestly isn't that bad if you're, a journeyman. Let's be real here. But Bobby Green is going against Lance Gibson Jr., who is a signee from Bellator. Do I even need to go on? Do I need to complete my thoughts here? A signee from Bellator. Dude, he got knocked out in the first minute of his fight at Bellator, got dropped from Bellator, and was fighting at Muckleshoot. We signed this kid from Muckleshoot Promotions. And the first opponent we could think to give him is Bobby Green. Bobby Green is going to go out there and show fucking levels. He's going to go out there and show levels. They don't even have the betting lines out for this on tap. You know what? Hold on. So we're here. I want to know the odds. Bobby Green is he's minus 218. All right, so I thought I was crazy for thinking like, whoa, Bobby Green is going to step on this dude. No. Even Vegas knows this is going to go down. Why do we sign this guy? If Lance goes out there and loses to Bobby Green, cut him. Actually, void the contract. It's honestly that simple. Void the contract if he loses to Bobby Green. We're going Bobby Green though. Amanda Lemos versus Gillian Robertson. This bitch looks like Crash from Crash Bandicoot, and Gillian Robertson looks like a credit card scammer. She looks like a credit card scammer. Alright? I know some of these ladies in my life. This looks like a credit card scammer. Alright? So we're staying away from that. Always. Boys, stay away from women's MMA. Why are you even, it's not pure, alright? We want to see some vicious violence. Let's move on, boys. Joan Derson Brito, okay, versus Isaiah Thompson. I mean, this dude lost to Pat Sabatini, who's solid. William Gomez. William Gomez. You lost to William Gomez, buddy, huh? Dude lost split decision to LFA. This is Isaiah Thomas's first fight in the UFC. He's gotten slapped by Dylan Ramos. How's this guy's life doing? Well, he's alright. Split decision loss to this guy? His shit's looking like a Christmas tree too. Alright. Alright. No, you know what? Look, man. The UFC obviously doesn't care when they give us matchups like I don't give a fuck. You want to throw some slop like this towards me? I'm not even going to break it down. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to go Joe Anderson Brito. He's fought some actual competition. William Gomez. But I'm going to go, he beat Andre Fili. Did I just see he beat Shepe? He did. He beat Shepe in the LFA. All right, yeah, we're going Joe Anderson. We're going Joe Anderson here. Not really a fan of the Australian prospect right there. Now moving on, boys, to a real underdog situation. Oh, we're moving on to a real underdog situation, boys. Neil Magny, who is always plus 300 for whatever reason, is fighting Yaroslav Amoshanov, who is 28-1. Now this kid went on, you want to talk about a Bellator signee, this kid went on a fucking run in Bellator. An absolute run. So much of a run, little buddy was 26-0. 26-0. Well, 27-0. Oh no, yeah, 27-0. And then he goes out there, loses to Jason Jackson, gets knocked out in the 3rd round, so now he's 27-1, and then gets dropped by Bellator and signed by CFFC. Do you see the run this kid went on in Bellator? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, he was going to fight Michael Venom Page? Holy! Holy! Fought Douglas Lima? I like Douglas Lima. Oof. 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 I didn't know his career made that harsh of a turn. Oof. Yikes. Okay. Alright. So listen, this Ukrainian fighter, I'm fading this guy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of the Bellator signees. I think they have you guys fighting cardboard cans. You know what I mean? You guys are fighting cardboard. Neil Magny is gonna go out there and do what he always does when he's fucking plus 300 and ruin people's dreams. Okay? That's what he's been doing. Jake Matthews, gone. Elysiu Zalasuski, however you even want to pronounce that, gone. Neil Magny has the levels in competition. Like, he's fought way higher levels of competition than this Bellator signee has. So I think that's what's going to go on here. Neil's going to shoot the single or the double, hold him down, win via control. Dominant submission victory coming from Neil Magny. I smell it. I sense it. And my bread will be put upon it. This fight is the Clash of the Titans, boys. Sean Sharif versus Steven Asplund. Now, Steven Asplund is the man known for the stretchy skin. This guy used to be a lot heavier than he is now, lost a bunch of weight, and he just can't get rid of the stretchy skin. It's kind of what he's known for. This dude had a vicious knockout win to get his UFC contract. 16 seconds, by the way. Vicious, very aggressive. Sean Sharif lost to Junior Tafa last year. I'm not even going to continue to speak. You lost to Junior Tafa, and we haven't seen you in a fucking year, and you're a heavyweight. We're going with the loose skin man, Steven Asplund, without a fucking doubt. Luna Santos versus Melissa. Both of these bitches look insane. Alright, let's be real here. Both of them look like stalkers. This one on the right, Melissa, looks like she will hunt you down in the dead of night. Okay, she will hit you with her little Toyota Corolla. Okay, Luna look like a gold digger. I'm not gonna lie, looking like she wants you to buy her a BBL. Okay, and then skate out of town. That's what Luna's giving the vibes for. Alan Fry versus Guhermine Pat. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you guys, boys. No idea. No idea. Looks fun though. One's 6-0, one's 5-0. Somebody gots to go. Somebody's gots to go. Look, I'm gonna go with AJ. He looks like he's seen some shit in his life. He doesn't have time to get a professional picture done. Guhermine Pat is out here getting professional pictures taken for his Tapology record. I mean, I would too. Shit, if I'm 6-0. If I'm 6-0, I'm doing that too. Retire me? Retired somebody? Okay. Alright. Made it to decision. Fight Music Show 3. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Look at that dude in the top right. Looks like he's banging it out over there, you know what I mean? Alright. Alright, look, man, I'm going to go Alan Fry there. And that kind of, that leaves us with this. This looks like a bird. And this looks like a weird mix of, Grant Dawson and Bogdan Gustav with hair. Okay? Those are my picks, boys, for the final fight card of 2025, man. Lock it in. Lock everything in. Hope you guys have a good one, because this is the last entertainment we get for the rest of the year. So, Kape, please figure it out. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'm out of here. Peace out.